much for joining us for Love Your Local, where we explore all the Carolinas have to offer in an effort of inspiring folks to connect with the places, spaces, and people that make our area so special. I'm Vanessa Ruffes, and today I'm checking out Charlotte's mural parks to find out why these spots are much more than just pretty views. They're beacons for community. We start at Teo Outdoor Gallery on North Brevard Street, just a few blocks from Optimist Hall, and we're sitting down with one of the artists behind the concept, Sydney Duarte.
It's been open for 2 years. My partner Treasy and my friend Osiris, we opened it so that the community could have a space to try something new, to meet a new friend, to have a safe, colorful, creative, open air space where they can come 24/7 and just be, because that is rare and the city really needs it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it adds so much character to this area. We're not too far from Optimist Hall, so I know a lot of folks come by here, whether it is to peruse Optimist or they live around here, and it really just adds a lot of color, as you said. In fact, while we were getting set up, we ran into that woman who was walking her dog here, and she mentioned how she comes by here frequently and just loves to see like what's new here.
Yeah, for me, yes, you can create, but it's also so beautiful to see all of the community members that come just to enjoy the artwork, because one piece may mean something to the artist, but it may mean something completely different to the viewer, and it could mean many things to many viewers, and it could brighten their day, it could literally change their life. I've had people tell me that they were on their way to commit suicide, and because of that message or that specific what was painted on the wall, it stopped them and made them rethink. And that's what we want here, is for people to feel immersed in the artwork, but also have it be thought-provoking and like, oh, wow, this is, I mean, so many people have come out of the woodwork that we knew about all of the painters in the city, but we didn't know about the sculpture artists, or there's fire spinners that come out at nighttime. There's a whole dance crew, a skating crew, a sweet little book club that comes. There's just so many people that utilize the space in so many different ways, and some people just come to hang out under the tree, and that's great too, but I don't know, it makes my heart so happy to see how needed it is. So many people tell us that it's like their safe space, it's their therapy space, it's their place where they feel like they can just be who they are and not be judged, and just, I don't know, it's so many things for so many different people, and yay.
Well, and I mean, you kind of spoke to this with, you know, some of the really poignant stories you've heard about how this space has impacted people. I think it just speaks to the importance of art in connecting people and connecting community. Recently speaking with some other artists for a separate story, I feel like I came to the realization of how art is kind of like a shortcut messaging of like, I'm feeling this is like my way of communicating this to you in like whatever medium is like comfortable for me. And people kind of get that.
Sometimes words can't say all the things that you need it to, so being able to express what's on your heart might be the exact same thing that someone's feeling and didn't know how to say it, and that's when the artwork speaks to them, or that maybe them witnessing you creating your masterpiece encourages them to go and turn their dream into reality. It might be something completely unrelated. It might be poetry. It might be they want to be top chef, or they want to take on a dancing career. I don't know, but we humans are built for connection, and being able to spark one another and ignite each other's flames to keep bringing color and goodness and, I don't know, spice into life is what is needed. And if we keep allowing AI to take over and keep getting disconnected and further away from each other in our cubicles, in our homes, in our own little silos, like, we have to keep coming back together, because everyone's nervous systems are like overloaded. The world feels heavy and crazy and chaotic, but these are the spaces where we can come back together and cheer each other on and lift each other up and make the world better and brighter and bolder.
Speaking of brighter and bolder, it's time to hit the road. Sydney takes me just minutes away into Uptown to East 4th Street and the best dressed alleyway around. This is Luminous Lane.
So we are in Luminous Lane, and again, with transforming forgotten spaces, we brought 58 artists together to transform this. It used to be slightly sad and scary, and now it's vibrant and just filled with color and goodness, and we have anything from murals, fiber art, sculptures, paste ups, just a wide array of colorful goodness to highlight all of the artists that were involved to tell their story. And what Treasy and I specifically wanted when we were curating this project was for each person to showcase their true style, because a lot of times when you get hired by someone, you kind of get squished into a box and you're limited in your expression. So this is a space where they could like fully be who they are. The theme inside the alleyway is bringing light to dark places, and then the next year when we expanded, the theme was peace. So you'll see a lot of different expressions what both of those themes meant to each artist. But my favorite thing is hearing when artists are hired because of their specific style from this space, from this project. And yeah, I don't know, it's also exciting to me because when we first started the project, I talked to a lot of people that live and work in the area, and they would walk all the way down and around to avoid going through this space. And now to see sweet little tiny humans to all ages of people just spending time and connecting with the artwork, reading about the artists, and yeah, yay. It's our love note to the city so that they can just be and enjoy this open air gallery, because a lot of times people, maybe they feel intimidated to go into a gallery space or a museum, and this, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, you just get to come and soak it all up. And yeah.
Well, and I mean, you were talking about letting each artist showcase their own style, like as it is authentic to them.
Yes.
I know we were talking about this earlier, like kind of the concept of Charlotte trying to figure out what its art style is. Would you say that Charlotte has a style yet, or like?
I don't know if it's so much a style. What I hear a lot, I've been here for 25 years, and what I hear a lot is, oh, it's a banking city, or oh, it's still figuring out who it is. It is an art city. Charlotte is an art city, and it's not just, the murals are not just to decorate the walls. It is the creative heartbeat of who Charlotte is. And I think a lot of times, especially with people moving from so many places, people are used to just, you know, walking past and maybe they don't fully take it in. Charlotte is putting itself on the map. The creatives of Charlotte are intentionally pouring in to every nook and cranny of the Charlotte creatives are pouring into every inch of every space throughout the city because of the message on their hearts that they want to share with the world, but also like igniting every space possible to transform the city. And when you search, if you type in art cities around the world, like most of the ones that pop up are out of the country, like they're around the world, or there's LA or New York, but Charlotte is the one.
When we come back, how local artists hope you interact with these special spaces and what it means to support local art. Welcome back to Love Your Local. We're continuing our conversation around Charlotte's mural scene and the local artists behind it. After touring Teo Outdoor Gallery and Luminous Lane, local muralist Sydney Duarte speaks with me about how best to interact with local art and artists.
In all of our projects, we try to lovingly educate everyone how to properly support an artist. If you see a beautiful artwork that you love, 9 times out of 10, their signature or their Instagram handle is somewhere on that artwork. Send them a love note, tag them in your photo, tell the world about these artists, because that's how you keep them fueled. Maybe the artist is having a hard day, but then to know what their artwork meant to you in that moment could like really lift them up or keep them going, or remind them that this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I mean, for anyone that doesn't know how to support a creative, not just local artists, but creatives in general, it's like, buy the artwork, show up to the events that they're having, tell someone about their work, and just keep cheering them on. Even if you don't have the financial means, just sharing who they are and telling them what they mean to you it makes such a world of difference. And you know, the term local artists, like, we have so many amazing creatives in the city, but many of them are world-renowned artists that they just happen to live in Charlotte, which makes them a local artist. But if people want to pour into the arts and want to see it not just be a sad, gray, beige city, support the arts. It's very simple, and it doesn't have to be a lot of effort on someone's part. It's just like, cheer them on, tag them in your photos, just share the goodness with the world. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could see what a difference, you know, just a little bit of like great job can do.
Yes.
In the sense, like when we first arrived, and I mean, they're still here. There's a group that is standing down at the end of the lane. I'll go ahead and show them because they're still over there taking pictures and they're smiling and they're clearly absorbing all that this area was supposed to, you know, provide. And I mean, you literally look giddy watching them.
It makes me so happy because each artwork has a very powerful message. You'll see as we walk through that theme, bringing light to dark places. What does that mean to someone? For some folks, it is their nephew. For me, Benki Pianco, this indigenous Ashaninka leader behind us, he is such an amazing human. And I depicted him sharing a shooting star into the space. That's him sharing his light with everyone that walks through this space. There is such a wide array of styles and expressions, but each piece has such a unique message and something that was really meaningful to that artist, and seeing people connect with it in different ways is, you know, maybe it's the imagery, or maybe it's the message, or maybe it's the artists themselves, but to see people actually spending time with the artwork and really diving deeper. We created a scavenger hunt for people so that they could, like, whether they're with their family or they just really want to connect with the artwork in a deeper way, it's really cool to me to see people actually going deeper and like, whoa, like, what does this mean? And wow, how did they do that? And yeah, yay.
That's really cool. Well, and I mean, talking about, you know, supporting local artists, you know, I feel like it's really easy to just find any piece of art on any sort of mass-produced platform where, you know, I don't even know where it came from. I don't know who made it. Was there even thought put behind it?
Did
a
AI
machine
recreate?
Right,
did
correct.
AI steal this from an artist and revamp it in a new way?
Can you, I guess, talk about what it's like to be an artist during this like time and space? With we have all sorts of weird like factors in art.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, and like why it is so important for folks to like find a local person and connect with that person and enjoy their art.
It's so important to pour into a creative in your community because they are out here, blood, sweat, and tears being poured into their handmade creations, and if they aren't supported, they can't keep doing what they're doing. Like all these beautiful spaces that people are enjoying for free is because of the hard work that they're pouring in, and if they're not supported, they're gonna have to go get a corporate job or do something that they don't want to do, but they have to pay the bills. And you know, a lot of times people don't understand that the time and the effort and the hard work that is poured into these pieces. And you know, people talk about how great and convenient AI is, but it's also destroying the planet while we're using it, and it's also like taking all of that time and love and effort that was poured into a handmade masterpiece by a human and being distorted to just pop up and be used, and you know nothing about the artwork or the artist that originally created it. Like AI is not creating anything from scratch. It is searching the interwebs and taking from artists, humans that have been spending years, hours, days, months, like pouring just their life into this craft, this lifestyle, and they have to be supported because if not, the world will be so boring. So sad.
Well, and I think too, like for example, like if I have a great day out with my family and I'm taking pictures of that day, like when I look back at those pictures, there's an emotional connection there. I remember the day, I remember how I felt, I remember like what an incredible experience, whatever was that we did. And I feel like when people pick art, like we're always told to like pick something that just like makes you feel good or like makes you feel something when you look at it. And I'm just, when I think about something that might be mass produced or maybe not made by a human, I just don't know, like when I look at something like that,
it
like
doesn't elicit the same feeling.
Right.
When you see or purchase something that wasn't mass produced or that wasn't human made and it was just mass produced, it doesn't elicit, for most people that I ask, like it's not actually eliciting a feeling. Maybe it looks nice, but the human connection is not there. And to to take a pause and really, if you're feeling something, it could be happy, it could be like thought-provoking, it could be like, I don't know, this makes me feel a lot of feelings all at one time, but like go deeper with that feeling. Connect with the artist, read their story. The artist might not be alive anymore, but while these artists are alive, support them while they are alive so that they can keep making the world better and brighter, whether it be their poetry, their music, their dance, there's so many different forms. There's food art, there's so much visual goodness, and not just visual, just all the forms of art. But if we don't continue to pour into that, I don't know if you've seen the movie WALL-E, but that's where we're headed. If we don't do better, it's going to be a sad world to live in, but there is still hope and there is still time. And for anybody watching this, I encourage everybody to just pour into the arts. Even if you don't know where to begin, literally walk around your town. You can't miss it. The artists are here. They are loud and bright and bold and beautiful, and they need supported and uplifted and funded.
Ahead here on Love Your Local, why local artists say taking the time to appreciate the creative around Charlotte is good for everyone, and how to find your favorite spaces. Back here at Teo Outdoor Gallery, we're learning why local artists say taking the time to explore the local creative, including Charlotte's mural scene, is so important, and how to find your art community. Maybe people just feel really disconnected right now, or lost, adrift. There is like a lot of, I feel like, dialogue about like how efficient can we be, and like how much can we get done in a day, and I know every single person is feeling that, like on different levels.
Yeah, I used to be in corporate world for 16 years, and the burnout is real. And trying to do what I love on the side after for me, it was like a 60, 80-hour work week, and it's just too much. And most people, that's what society teaches us, that you have to go, and do, and then your body will eventually shut down if you don't listen and take time to be and rest and come back to yourself, and come to spaces like this where you can just breathe and, I don't know, get inspired in new ways. And it doesn't mean you have to be creating all the time, just being around other good humans. And there is so much more good in the world than there is bad. Like, unfortunately, that's what's amplified on all the different news outlets, but if you walk around your own community, there are so many amazing humans, and every time something bad happens in the community, I see so many people come together to lift each other up, and that's where the humanness of the heart of the city for me is. I don't know, I have more hope than ever that good things are coming, and if we all just keep coming together, there's hope. There's so much hope. Yeah.
Well, I love those sentiments. It feels good because sometimes I think there's a lack of hope. You kind of dove into your background, maybe like how you weren't always part of the art world, and now you are maybe more immersed in it than ever before. Can you tell me about your art journey?
I mean, I've been creating since I was a little kid, but I would always create canvases that would fit in your home, and then when people would reach out and say, can you paint my child's bedroom or the outside of my business, I would be like, oh, this artist is really good and you should hire them. And yeah, it wasn't until maybe 10 years ago, I just really I was miserable in corporate world, and I just kind of dove headfirst and never looked back. And in creating my first mural in Charlotte, I was met with multiple people that had stopped by on different days to tell me what it meant to them, and that they really needed to see that message that day. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, even if I don't know, I don't have a safety net of the corporate world paycheck. It doesn't matter. Like, if this makes my heart happy, this is what I need. Art is sustainable if you want it to be. If you pour your whole heart into it, no matter what you want to do, anything is possible. It's just, and it's 2026. There are no rules, there are no roadmaps. So you have to create your own path, and it can feel defeating at times. I think just any entrepreneurial path can feel like that sometimes. You think it's just one smooth, but if you look, it's like a roller coaster of highs and lows, and But if your heart is calling you to do it, that's what you're meant to do, and just keep following your joy, and that will lead to the next opportunity, the next, maybe your new best friend or your new business partner or a new opportunity in some type of way. But yeah, just keep following your heart, because these are the things, these open air galleries for me and creating safe space for community is what it's all about. And I don't know, I look back at my life and I feel like I've lived 30 lifetimes in this one lifetime, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of honed in on finding your joy. I heard you use that phrase. I think about too, like one of the purposes that I have for this segment, for this show, is really to show people all the different spaces there are in our area, and the hopes that folks find their community or find their space that they like to be in or find their people. I guess, what would you recommend folks do if you feel like they're maybe somewhat feel drawn to the art side of things and are just like looking for a place to be and find their people and their space in that sense?
For someone that's just starting out on their art journey or just wanting to be in community, show up in the spaces that inspire you. Even if you've never been, maybe you found it online, maybe there's a new hobby you want to try, maybe, who knows. But I promise you, if you go to sign up for a class, sign up, and there's a lot of free events that are available in Charlotte. Art Walk CLT she hosts a lot of community gatherings. There's just so many amazing community happenings. Art in the QC, she's always highlighting like different events. She'll either do like a weekly or a weekend roundup of all the things that are happening. So I promise you there is an abundance of goodness to try. And even if you try it and you don't like it, at least you tried. Or maybe you try it and you love it and that's your new thing. Or maybe you meet someone in that space that wants to go on new art adventures with you. But the key thing is showing up. Like it can feel so isolating when you stay at home and it's not a bad thing to have your alone time. It's like a beautiful way to connect with yourself, but also being in community is super important too. And even if it feels scary, or maybe you're an introvert, but maybe there's other introverts there that, it's good to be in a space where creativity is happening, because even if that is not your specific niche, you are picking up new skills, or you're just always bettering yourself and pouring into your own self. And for sanity, for mental health, it's fun. It's fun to try something new. You're expanding your neuroplasticity, and yeah, maybe you try it and never do it again, or maybe you just try it and love it and dive all in, and maybe that's your new path.
We hope this short tour around Charlotte's mural parks inspired you to slow down and savor the creative energy in our community. And until next time, be sure to search out those glimmers of joy that make you love your local even more.